So the Navy still practices visual piloting going in and out of port. What I have right here, this is a Polaris, and then on top is an Adelaide. But it's a compass rose with a sighting device. Say, we actually update every 1 minute. Say we're going to San Diego Bay, we want to take a bearing to the midsection of the Coronado Bay Bridge. The quartermaster of the watch will say, on my mark, we'll have a common time reference. We'll take that bearing and we'll plot it on the bridge.
And we do have two chairs here on the bridge. One marked CO for the commanding officer, and the opposite side of the bridge gate. And you're more than welcome, by the way, to sit in those seats. Now, welcome to the bridge. This is the home of the captain. Captain Midway typically was 43, 44 years old. He was a four-striper, 06. But the real takeaway is the captain of the Midway. He had absolute responsibility, accountability, and authority. And yes, our captain could put you in the brig, our jail, on bread and water for 3 days. That was our Weight Watcher program. You're 18 years old, that definitely got your attention. But because the captain's job was really more 24/7, our captain was really an observer here on the bridge because we had a watch team that rotated every 4 hours. Leading the watch team was the officer of the deck, the OOD. So during that 4-hour period, he would have responsibility for the safe operations of the ship. Assisting the OOD was the junior officer of the deck in training, but typically be the conning officer because you could have only one person giving both course and speed commands back in the pilot house. Standing in the middle of the bridge, junior officer of the watch. He had responsibility for the surface picture. So in addition to the captain not wanting to run the ship aground, we did not want to have a collision at sea. Now, I have another plexiglass board back in the pilot house called the skunk board, surface contacts unknown. And we'd list all of our contacts. We'd have lookouts above with binoculars, and also all of our radar contacts from our Combat Information Center, CIC. So location, course, speed, closest point of approach. But really a unique situation going in and out of Tokyo Bay, a lot of very small fishing boats. So the Midway we did, this is unique to the Midway, we added a standalone high-resolution radar. It's called a Pathfinder radar here on the bridge. But the Midway is such a huge ship, she can't turn on a dime or stop on a dime. Miraculously, those boats always got out of her way. It never seemed to be much of a problem. As you walk around the bridge, you'll see our new nautical chart. It is a full-scale chart, San Diego Bay. Far side, chair marked Gator. Stands for the navigator. So the navigator wasn't back in the chart house. You find him here on the bridge. I do want to draw your attention across the bay over at Naval Air Station North Island, over our carrier piers. We happen to have 2 of our Nimitz-class nuclear-powered carriers. We have a total of 10 in the Navy, but both are home ported here in San Diego. So starting out, the one on the left, CVN-70, that's the Carl Vinson. They had a burial at sea about 5 years ago. A name that you might recognize, Osama bin Laden was buried off of that ship. Over on the right, that's actually CVN-71. That's the Teddy Roosevelt, big stick. Got back earlier this year from the Persian Gulf, and they're going through some extensive repairs as well as upgrades, getting ready to go back out. So I'm going to step back in the pilot house. We'll talk about some of the positions here as well. To my right, this is the helm. This is where we steer the USS Midway. My helmsman, 18, 19 years old, barely had his driver's license. Now we steer to a true course, not to a magnetic heading. So you'll see here several gyro compass repeaters and rudder indicators. However, as a backup, though, we did have a magnetic compass. It's right here, this brass instrument. Of course, everything has to be a nautical term. This is what we call a binnacle. This is our binnacle. Now, we needed 30 knots of wind over the deck to launch and recover aircraft. So, trick question. I always ask our guests, where is the throttle? This is the ship's whistle right here, because we don't have any steam, so we can't blow that. But they look around and they can't find the throttle because we did not have a throttle. What we had was a communications device. It's right here. It's called an engine order telegraph. Looks like it's a movie prop out of the Titanic. It's probably that same technology. I had another 18-year-old here called the Lee Helmsman. Now on the Midway, we have 4 engines, each one generating 53,000 horsepower, we could actually get the Midway going just under 32 knots, which is 36.5 miles an hour. So you could both water ski and wakeboard behind the Midway. Now, engine room number 3 is open today on your tour. It's going to be on the 4th deck. Remember, the ship's floating, so you're going to be below the water line. So I assume you're all scuba certified, right? You're good to go. Now, I want you to say hello to Jack Scott down there. He's one of our World War II docents. He was in the Battle of Normandy in 1944 on a destroyer escort 1 mile off the coast. So I asked him a sea story. He'd be more than happy to share with you. But say hello to Scott. One of the standard commands, all head 1/3, maintain RPM for 5 knots. So the lee helmsman, we have 2 large sails here, engines 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So we're going to crank that in, all ahead 1/3, 3 and 4. So down in the engine rooms, they're going to answer the bells. They're going to acknowledge that command. You're going to see a large throttle board down in engine room number 3. It has wheels similar to this. One's labeled the ahead throttle. That's the throttle. So the throttleman's going to spin that wheel, opening up a valve, allocating more high temperature, high pressure steam into the engine. They'll eventually get the shaft going 29 revolutions per minute, which then propels the ship forward 5 knots. Everything happens in slow motion, right? In the back, bosun's man of watch. Senior enlisted that in addition to training, it also maintained good order and discipline, because this is the domain of the captain. There was no monkey business. Down the passageway on the left-hand side, you're going to see the captain's at-sea cabin. Because when the ship was at sea, the captain literally had to handle any situation, any emergency on the bridge. So this is where the captain would eat, sleep, shower, etc. while the ship was out at sea. Now on the tour, later today, you'll see the captain's in-port cabin. Very luxurious, very spacious. We, of course, entertained a lot of foreign dignitaries when the ship was overseas. Now, rank does have its privileges. Our captain, he had his own galley, he had his own chef, he had his own orderly, he had his own yacht. We called it the captain's gig. Now, not to be outdone, the admiral had a bigger yacht that was more ornate. It's called the Admiral's Barge. We carried both on board. Now, as you walk down to the flight deck, you're going to be going down 3 ladders. They will appear steeper going down than coming up. I assure you they're not steeper. You go down one of 2 ways. You go down facing forward as you pass through a hatch, duck, and not hit your head. Or you can go down backwards, hit your head, and then duck. I'll leave it up to you. I'll repeat those directions. Now that does conclude our tour today. Just a couple things, just in passing. We released a new movie. Actually, it was last year. Voices of Midway. It's only 14 minutes. We play it twice on the hour. Now it's holograms. It's 3D without glass, about the Battle of Midway. Definitely see that. And then if during this tour, if your caffeine level got a little low, walk through the gift shop, left-hand side. We do have a Starbucks on board. And I know many of you are in different time zones, and it is afternoon. We serve beer and wine all day, so you cannot help but have a wonderful time on the Midway. So have a great weekend, and I guess there's a music festival over here too, so you'll get some background music. You'll be more than happy to answer your questions, but I'd like to invite you to begin your journey on down.
Thank you very much.